It's showtime.
BS and Bourbon Media in association with STWF TV, the podcasting network. We present to you BS and Bourbon. And now here's Craig and Dale.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in BS and Bourbon. I am Dale, and with me, we got the California Cajun Craig. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Nice to be talking Saints a little bit.
Yeah. It's been a while. So last time we talked, it was after the draft. And so now we're leading into Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to you, Craig. It's not 4th of July. It's Independence Day.
Independence Day. Unfortunately, like 70 other countries also have Independence Days. So you can still call it the 4th of July and Independence Day. Man, I'm not celebrating the Jamaican Independence Day. It was America. But what about you, man? You got any plans for the 4th? You gonna do something fun? Blow something up?
No, I don't think I'm gonna blow anything up. I'm definitely going to eat good though. You know, gonna get some smoked food in my life, and this the American way. Drink a beer and enjoy some good food. You know.
There you go. See, I live in the great state of California where you're not allowed to blow anything up, so I won't be either. But I figure barbecue in a pool is what the founding fathers would have liked. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure they would enjoy that.
Take off the powdered wig a little bit. You know, get down with it.
I will say it's like that here. In Little Rock proper, because you're not allowed to have fireworks or whatever. Okay, allowed. Okay. People do it all the time. All right. But you can get a ticket or whatever if they catch you. So you're on your own. But
well,
yeah.
I'm Los Angeles County too. So if you hear stuff exploding, it's usually just gunfire anyway. Who cares?
There you go. What's up, Bobby? How you doing, man? Yeah, man. But yeah, the fireworks they have these days, man, they are like missiles and bombs, bro. Like it's
God bless America.
Yeah, it is crazy. But do you usually enjoy fireworks?
So I was a big fireworks guy
something?
before I had kids, because now I got little ones. So I have to figure out, are they babies and they're going to get scared, or do they want to go blow stuff? Because my wife wants to blow up everything. I wouldn't have a house if she had her way. So it would just everything. Our last New Year's down in Louisiana, we set off a few $100s worth of explosives. It was a good time. Time. I'm not a huge firework guy, but I can get down with it.
Okay. Yeah, if I'm enjoying, I'm usually the guy just watching and drinking the beer or whatever. I don't usually get on out there and blow things up, but
Oh yeah, no, I am usually much too inebriated to actually help with the explosives. You don't want me handling stuff like that. Are you kidding me? The fireworks are at night. That means I've been drinking for like 6 hours. I'm not gonna drink 6 hours and blow stuff up. I'll drink like 2 hours and blow stuff up. Sure.
Yes.
It's moderation, right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And since we are talking about the 4th of July, listen, you cannot have 4th of July without my guy Terry. All right. Shout out to Terry. Okay. If you've never watched this video before, you're in for a treat. Okay.
Hey, hold on. 2 cars come. You got 2 cars coming 2 different ways.
Yeah. So now he's lighting it up.
Seems awfully bright outside.
Hey, look. There you go, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, please. Oh, Lord. Oh, please.
Terry refused to back up.
Terry, what you doing?
Put it in reverse, Terry. Come on, Terry.
I need that sound.
Yes, man. That's like one of my favorites.
I saw you pull a video up. I thought you were about to talk about Saints legend Jason Pierre-Paul.
I'm so messed up, man. I'm so messed up. No, not talking about Pierre-Paul though. So
he can still count his millions of dollars just fine with all of his remaining fingers.
It's true. It's true. This is true. He's got more money than I do. So
he got the bag. It's cool. I mean, does it matter if he can't teach his kids how to count to 10? Who cares?
It's fine. It's fine.
They do fine.
All right, man. Let's get into some Saints.
Please.
The first thing I want to talk about is it's sort of connected to the Saints, but it's Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is covering the Giants offseason right now. And the first thing that they were talking about was Saquon Barkley. And so, of course, we got AK. He's looking for a new contract. And now he's retweeting what's going on with this. And listen, Hard Knocks gets the inside information, right? And usually hear the players talking most of the time in Hard Knocks, but this is the offseason edition.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're getting the unfiltered feelings from player personnel groups, the GM, and they're talking about the value of the running back position. And that's tough.
Yeah.
And Saquon Barkley, you know, he went to the Eagles. And now you get to see the conversation behind the scenes of the people in charge making these decisions. These same people, well, not same people, but the same type of people are making the decisions about AK, where he's looking for a new contract.
Yeah.
So do you see the relationship between the Saints and AK ever getting repaired?
I mean, honestly, I don't. But that's kind of the pessimist in me. I kind of think that, you know, the Kendre Miller thing, you know, getting Jamal Williams on a decent contract, all of this was in place to move on from AK when you could. You know, I think they kind of expected the drop off. Pete Carmichael's offense was clearly part of the problem in that production drop off and everything. You know, it seems like with his age and his production, everything like that, he wants that McCaffrey money, and McCaffrey's still fresh because he spent the first 8 years hurt. And
Right.
Now that he's actually playing, he looks younger than he is because he spent all that time on IR.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's one of those things. I hope that they can mend it and they can bring him back, because I think this offense is perfectly built for what AK is good at. I think he could be much closer to what he was with Breeze, and you know, using him in more explosive ways. But to me, yeah, I think the writing's on the wall. I see shades of Mike Thomas with this, and I'm worried we don't see him play again.
He's got to play out this year, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, you see, like we said about McCaffrey, that longevity. You know, if you don't put an extra miles on the tires, they're staying
$3 to $4 million for a fifth round.
But like his contract won't wear out, won't go out, right? Like he'll still be under contract if he don't play this year.
Yeah, he could sit out. That's what I'm saying. He could force a trade, or he could sit.
Okay.
No, he's technically on for 2 years, but there is no chance he plays that second year. It's kind of one of those.
Right. There's no way.
So I mean, if he knows that, oh, this is my last real year, they're going to run me into the ground and, you know, and burn up any kind of value I have outside of that, why would he? He's got the money to retire, and he's got interest outside of the NFL. So I mean, he's not pushed to play if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he's got interest outside the NFL, but he wants the contract, and I think the only way to get that contract is going to be showing in other NFL teams that you're healthy and that you can survive an entire season. And so to me, he's got to come in and play this entire season, look healthy, put up, you know, typical AK numbers. So next year when he hit free agency, he can get a decent deal. Now, I don't know if he's going to get Christian McCaffrey kind of money, but he can have a Christian McCaffrey kind of year and then be warranted to get that kind of money. So it's definitely not going to come from the Saints, in my opinion.
I mean, the Saints are in the best situation. He is under contract. He does need to, like you said, he needs to prove himself to the league. But like I said, I don't. AK seems like the guy that if he doesn't want the situation he's in, he might just walk away. And that's my fear, is that he's willing to just sit on the couch or go tour the world or whatever he's doing right now. Go build hospitals in Africa like he just did or something like that. He doesn't have to do this. So if he doesn't want to, he's not gonna. So to me, I think the best chance of him making his money is he stays with the Saints. I don't think anyone else is paying him value right now that he's looking for. No, he's not getting McCaffrey money from the Bills or somebody. So, I mean, it works out best for both of us if he extends and stays and we drag this along, especially if he's not the workhorse anymore. That could extend his shelf life. But the ball's in his court.
Yeah, it was it's something watching the player personnel people talk about the different running backs that was in free agency, how they compare this guy, how they compare that guy. And then talking about, the age factor. They talk about wear and tear, mileage on the body and stuff like that. These are all things we discuss just as fans, thinking this is what they're discussing, but that's exactly what they're discussing. So,
yeah, it sucks. It's a reminder it's a business, and that sometimes players like cattle, and they're really well paid, rich cattle who are gonna play a game for a living and then retire wealthily, but they're still commodities. They're still assets.
Yeah.
And
that's exactly right.
To have that top down look, you kind of have to think of it that way.
Yep, that's exactly right. Exactly right. I forgot to mention this. What you drinking, Craig?
Oh, goodness. Never asked. I'm trying to get my body as cleaned out and ready for football season as possible. So I'm not drinking a lot lately. But just for you and for BS and Bourbon, I do have a nice little bottled in bond. Shoot, I forgot the name of the bottle because it's in the other room. But it is fantastic. It's aged 7 years. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon, and it's delightful. And the name will come to me in a minute.
Okay. Cool.
It's like drinking sweet fire. It's beautiful.
Sweet fire.
It's being embraced by your mother if your mother is the devil and you're suckling the heat of sin and misery. It's wonderful.
Well,
that's a good bourbon. That's dramatic, but that's a good bourbon. As soon as I remember the name, everyone should buy some.
Okay. Well, still repping the sheepdog, peanut butter bourbon here. It's good stuff. Make sure you get you some of that. It's good stuff.
Have we tried mixing that with like a grape or something liqueur, like a strawberry liqueur, and try to get like a PB&J going yet? We got to try that.
Yeah. That's an interesting idea. I think we should try that.
I'm gonna get some of that and make a peanut butter and jelly martini, and it's gonna be awesome.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Okay, next story we got, Craig. Isaiah Foskey and Peyton Turner are currently at Von Miller's sack camp. So, do you think this will help them? And are you excited to see them out there mingling with the older guys? Cam Jordan's there too, but it's basically a camp to for the pass rushers there.
So one, yeah, I'm glad they're there. Any exposure to other techniques, other styles is always going to be beneficial, especially young guys who are still putting together their repertoire. Absolutely no problem with it. Is it going to help? It depends. If they listen to Von Miller, they're going to learn about how to be really good for a couple of years and then fall off a cliff. If they listen to Cam Jordan, they'll be really good at almost getting to the quarterback and letting him throw a pass right before he gets there. So it's really who you learn from, I'm joking, obviously, but yeah, get the guys out there. You talk about these guys who are trying to make their way in the league, and they're going to these camps and they're doing all the stuff. And what's more important to me is not that they're not what they're doing at the camp, is that they're there, that they're putting in that off-season work. They're trying to get better. They're working on their craft. This is all important stuff. So not as much that I don't think they're going to learn a new way to pass rush that they didn't know before. Both of these guys have been playing football for most of their lives at this point, but it can't hurt. I like it.
Yeah. Look, talking to those veterans or productive veterans like Matt Crosby and stuff like that. Like, I want to pick their brains. Like they're the best guys in the league right now. So yeah, just being able to pick their brains, I think that's valuable. And yeah, you never know what he picks up from just being out there, with somebody else. So the main thing is they're healthy. They're working on their craft right now, so that should just make them better. But I love seeing them healthy, and I'm hoping just the fact that they're staying active out there will keep them healthy during the season, and it's going to benefit us. That's what I'm hoping for.
And if they could pick Max Crosby's brain, that's the one you want to learn from, because he's clearly a lunch pail, shows up early guy without any athletic ability. So if you can get his skill set, his mindset put on these more athletic, faster guys, that could benefit. I'm not saying nothing. What are you saying? Come on now. We're a family show.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, let's look at the roster here of the Saints, and let's talk about some changes that you would make, if there are any changes that you would make. Where should we look to add players if we're indeed talking about trying to make it to the Super Bowl? We had the Bucks win the division 3 years in a row, so we can't let that happen again, Craig.
Gross. Just saying it out loud is just disgusting. So, yeah, this is an interesting question, because it's not what the Saints are doing. The Saints are not trying to win it all this year. Their decisions have kind of proven that. They didn't restructure a couple of the contracts they could have. They didn't go out and sign big names. The guy they did sign, the big signing was Chase Young, who's a very moderate contract. It's got a lot of incentives in it. So it's not like they spent. They're cleaning up the cap. Everyone tells them to clean up the cap. They're doing it. And then people are mad that they didn't do more. So if the goal is to win it all this year, I address safety. They're the best safeties in the world, basically, are all free agents. I would go get a safety. I want to say the guy from Denver, is it Simmons? But they did give up 70 points in a game once last year. So how important can he possibly be? But yeah, I get a safety. Maybe a D tackle. I don't know who's out there that's going to be better than what you have, though.
Yeah, with D tackle, that's been an area of concern. That was what I wanted to do in the draft, is select some sort of D tackle like around the 5th round. And I get, it's a 5th rounder, but still having a younger body in there, especially something different than what you already have on the roster, I think that could have benefited us a little bit. But I'll be happy to see what Breesy does in his second season side of Colin Saunders.
You wanted to get a D tackle in the 5th round because the one in the 6th round wasn't early enough for you. That extra round would have made it better.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Yes. Absolutely.
I like the guy we got in the 6th round too, as the same school as Penning. He has the bench press record at his school. He's a run stuffer, man. I like him. I hope he makes the team.
Well, I hope he does too, because we got him. But yeah, same school as Penning. Like, what are we doing here? It's not a powerhouse.
You mean our starting right tackle? Easy. Don't disrespect our starting right tackle.
We hope he's a starting right tackle. Okay.
Currently, as we speak, presently.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. This is Ryan Ramczyk is definitely out this season and possibly his entire career now. So,
well, it's degenerate too. So the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get. So if he's not playing this year, he's not playing again.
Yes.
Yeah. And it sucks, man. He was a great player for a long time, but happens.
Yeah, look, he's gonna be fine as far as a person and everything like that.
Oh
he's
yeah,
getting a lot of money this year to sit home. What do you think about linebacker though? Because we did pick up Willie Gay. Pete Werner is in a contract year.
Mm-hmm.
Demario Davis is kind of getting long in the tooth. They did draft Jalen Ford here to be the successor, but your guy DeMarco Jackson's still on the team for sure. But
Still there.
what do you think
Still has a
about the?
touchdown record. Still has an NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
What
What do you think about the depth at the position, though?
I felt real bad about it end of last season because Werner had kind of a down year, and DeMario is obviously, he's getting up there in age. He doesn't play like it, but he is. And now I feel real good about it, man. I mean, I know Gay's only a 1-year contract. We signed another guy, I'll say Boyd or something like that. And I love Ford as a developmental pick out of Texas. I feel pretty good about the depth right now, to be honest with you. I mean, even Jackson, who's, he hasn't panned out as a starter. He's been a valuable special teams guy. He's obviously making plays, scoring touchdowns, unlike some people's linebackers they wanted to draft. So, I like where we're at on linebacker. I didn't before, but a couple of signings and a draft pick will do that to you.
Yeah. Do you believe like Willie Gay and Pete Werner is essentially fighting for a roster spot next season based on the production this season?
Yes. I think it's Werner's job to lose, but I think one of those guys is getting a contract extension. The other one's not. I think it's an either or. Unless something terrible happens to Davis and, you have to try to replace both spots. But, yeah, in my mind, they're competing for that spot, and I think it's Werner's to lose.
Yeah, with them having that kind of disappointing season last year, I kind of think this is like insurance policy too. Yeah. But also, I really believe that they're trying to try something different to stop those mobile quarterbacks that we just can't stop. Yeah. And hopefully Willie Gay is the answer for that. But it's a lot to put on one guy.
Yeah, it's quite the assumption to say that Willie Gay is more of an athletic player than Pete Werner. I don't know why anyone would make that kind of a guess about those players, but he is shown to be he can make plays in space like that. He's good. That's 2 years in a row now that they've made a move directly because of mobile quarterbacks. They also talked about when they drafted Foskey because he was a faster, lighter guy than they're usually drafting.
Yes,
supposed to be.
Yes.
So, they're clearly trying. They see what a problem it is. And looking at our schedule this year, I hope it fucking worked. So, I like linebacker. I think we're in a good spot.
Yep. Well, look, I'm hoping Willie Gay does his thing for sure to stop that mobile quarterback thing. Look, we have to be able to tackle the quarterback, period. Anytime we get our hands around him, like we need to be able to get him down. I'm so sick of quarterbacks escaping. I'm so sick of it.
looking at the stats, and our D tackles had decent sack numbers, really. I think Shepard had a couple, and I think Brzee had 4.5. And they each could have had like 5 if we finished plays inside the pocket. It's remarkable how often we would get there and not finish. It is the most frustrating thing in the world watching your team. Like, oh, got him. Oh, shit. No, he's outside. Oh, he ran it in. That Vikings game. Oh, my God. I can't even talk about it without getting upset.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So, all right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back. And when we get back, we're going to be talking offensive line, Craig's favorite topic. So we'll be right back.
AirPods. Convenient and small. AirPods. Versatile with high fidelity. AirPods. Listen to music or talk on the phone. AirPods. Now with concealable subwoofer. Now drop that bass.
This is an emergency message. Stop what you're doing and hit the like button. Also comment and subscribe. Thank you. We now return you to your program.
We're back. BS and Bourbon.
I hadn't
Craig,
seen that.
Are you going to get some AirPods? Man?
I hadn't seen that ad before. That seems oddly pointed.
Yeah, man, get some AirPods, bro.
I got them. Y'all shamed me into getting AirPods. All right, it happened.
Get that syllable subwoofer. Make sure you feel that bass, man. It's important.
Like
okay?
Trainer. All about that bass.
That's right. That's right. So let's talk offensive line, Craig.
Yes.
It's a big deal. Now, when we're talking offensive line, I am talking about the rankings from PFF, and they ranked the New Orleans Saints. Well, they graded every team pretty much, right? And the top offensive line, according to PFF, is the Detroit Lions.
Penny Sewell will do that to you.
Oh yeah, for sure. So let's find the Saints in this list, and I am scrolling and scrolling. I am scrolling. I'm
Won't be a minute.
scrolling. And we are dead last, Craig.
We are
Dead
32nd?
last.
No kidding.
Yes. PFF put us dead last. Your thoughts?
All right, listen. If they're basing it on last year's running game, yeah, totally. I think we were last in the league in yards per attempt last year. We had guys like Alvin Kamara not get 4 yards to carry. Like, yeah, that's deserved. Played like dog shit last year. I don't think for a second we're going to be 32nd in the league this upcoming season. I've said it 100 times on this show to people on the street, just chase people down. Listen, I got to tell you about how the coaching let down the Saints. And I think the coaching around the offensive line has squandered such elite talent that they've drafted. And I'm not just saying, oh, I think this guy's pretty good. You have to look at the capital they put in. So the starting lineup last year to start the season, our left tackle was a former first-round pick. Our left guard was a former first-round pick. Our center was a former second-round pick, first pick in the second round. Our right guard was a former first-round pick, and our right tackle was a former first-round pick. You give any other position group on the field that kind of investment, those kinds of draft picks, and you're talking about the best unit in the world. You're talking about getting guys stacked top to bottom. But the offensive line for the Saints, for some reason, couldn't put it together. And you talked about how it took years for Ruiz to develop. It took years for Penning to develop. He's still not there yet. You had Andrus Peat, couldn't even play the position he was drafted to play, had to get moved over to the right side. Then he had to get moved over to the left side, and now he was a guard, and then he had to play tackle last year. The coaching has failed the team in a lot of different aspects. You can say that a lot with Dennis Allen as your head coach, but nowhere worse than the offensive line. The offensive line is a travesty to have been as bad as it has been. And that's why I have so much hope for this unit going forward. It's a completely fresh take. You got guys in new positions. You have young blood across the board, basically. So we went from wasted talent last year to now going into this year. Our left tackle is a first-round pick, new one. Our right tackle is a first-round pick that they moved over to right side. Ruiz is still a first-round pick, and you got Saldiveri. You got all this youth now. There's no one is old. The elder statesman of the group is McCoy, and we drafted him in 2018, 19. So he's not old either. You went from having this Andrus Peat, Ryan Ramczyk falling apart with bad coaches. The coaching staff is gutted. The offensive system is gutted, and you have more youth injected into it. I have a lot of hope for this offensive line. Is it going to be the best in the world? Hell no. Absolutely not. You don't get like that overnight. But I think the system's going to hide a lot of deficiencies, and you can only be better than we were last year. So I think it's a little harsh to say they were going to be 32nd this year, but judging it off last year, yeah, totally fair. Absolutely. They sucked.
Yeah, that's just sort of their point. They're, saying Ryan Ramczyk's going to miss the entire season, and that's going to force us to play Trevor Penning after benching him the entire 2023 season. And then they point out Cesar Ruiz has failed to rank among the top 50 guards according to PFF overall grade in his first 4 seasons. So they're pretty much saying, hey, you got to put in Penning, and Penning sucks. And then Ruiz, you're already playing him. He sucks too. And so your right side of the line don't suck. That's what they're saying.
For anybody who doesn't know how PFF does things, they basically watch every play and they decide if a player wins or loses a rep, and it contributes to their score. So you got these 120-pound nerds sitting in a room staring at a computer trying to tell me how offensive lines are playing. All right. We were bad last year. Your ranking is just fine. I'm not going to fight you on that, but shut up, nerds. Get off your keyboard. Pick up some pads.
We love analytics, though. We're always talking about the book.
You love
fourth down, right?
I like hitting people. Absolutely not. You know, you can keep your spreadsheets in the classroom and let the grown men go push each other on the field.
I mean, fourth down comes, we looking for the analytics. What does the book say?
Ruiz was solid last year, and he was really good the year before that. He did take a step back last year, but everyone did, with Doug Marrone driving you into the dirt. It's a bad coaching performance across the board in a system that did not benefit the O-line. The offense had no idea what they were doing. It was always a run on second and long or whatever it was. They were put in the hardest position that they could have been in. And yeah, they struggled. They were bad. They were the worst offensive line in the NFL probably. And they still didn't give up all that many sacks.
Yeah, I mean, look, Derek Carr, he got hurt a lot because of the offensive line. So I will say the offensive line really killed his production last season.
You could say the whole
because
season.
He's playing hurt.
Yeah, if he stays in that Green Bay game, do we win it?
I don't know.
Because if the 17-0 lead if your starting quarterback's still in it, if you win that game, playoff team last year, does that change the entire mindset of all of the fans this year? If instead of a 9-8 team, we were a 10-7 team who went to the playoffs, is Dennis Allen's seat a little bit cooler?
Well, for sure, if you make the playoffs, your seat is cooler.
I'm just saying, but that's the long and short of it. If Carr doesn't get hurt, I don't think we lose that game. We might not lose the next game.
I don't know that for sure though, Craig, because that game, it was a freaking meltdown at the end. The defense sucked. Okay.
Yes, but
we gave up so many points.
But if we had scored any points, they would have come up short. They would have pulled us against the Rams, you know?
Yeah, but we had plenty of opportunity to score in that first half. We only mustered 17 points.
And 7 were on a punt return. So it's not like he was letting
yes.
I agree.
Yes. And we continue to have the same struggles that we had the first half. We maybe get into some kind of field goal range and have to kick the field goal or screw up the field goal. But anyway, we didn't score touchdowns when we got into the red zone. And that was a problem early in the season last year, period. So
no, it's all completely legitimate, man. It's just hard. It's hard for me to wrap my brain around that collapse happening if we're still getting first downs and still have our starting quarterback in the second half. That's just.
But yeah, it is a momentum changer when your quarterback goes out for your team.
I downplay momentum a lot. I kind of think it's fans. But at a certain point, you know, if you're pinning your ears back because you know that it's Jameis Winston back there instead of Derek Carr, you might think, oh, we're gonna force a turnover here, or we can be more aggressive on offense because what are they gonna do about it? They're gonna score on us. So I mean, it changes everything.
Yeah, because we've seen it in the past too, right? Think about when Teddy Bridgewater was the quarterback and he had to start. The defense showed up, bro. It was a different defense during this point in time.
Deontay Harris, because he was still Harris back then.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody stepped their game up, and it's a different mentality you have when your backup is the starter. You know, it's just a different way.
It's different.
All right, let's look at another rankings here. This is from ESPN. ESPN ranked the rosters of all the teams in the NFL, and the Saints are number 20. I probably wouldn't be upset with this. However, they put us behind these suckers, the dirty Atlanta Falcons. Your thoughts here, Craig?
All right, look, to be fair to ESPN, and I will never repeat a kind word about them because I hate ESPN. On paper, I think the Falcons probably do have a better, I don't know, offensive roster at least. Their defense is bad. I don't know why people think it's going to be good this year. They had a bit of a turnaround with a coordinator that is no longer there, so I'm not sure why anyone thinks they're going to be a good unit. I would be more mad if the Buccaneers were ahead of us because I think that roster is absolutely overrated. I get the Falcons one. I get it. You know, people like Bijan Robinson. They like Kirk Cousins, even though I'm pretty sure he's going to be hobbled after that leg injury at his age. You know, people like Kyle Pitts, even though he's an absolute bust who's never done in the NFL. People like Drake London, even though he's an absolute bust who's done nothing in the NFL. People like those names because of where they were drafted and whatnot. So I get it. I understand. It's stupid. I don't agree with it, but I get it. Also, fuck Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
In case that wasn't
crap and think they're going to win a bunch of games. Come on, it's Atlanta. Come on, y'all.
Man,
Better.
I wouldn't even be surprised if they won like 3 if they just fell off a cliff. They probably won't. They'll probably be hanging around there because they do have a lot of names on offense, but they're just names. You know, I haven't. Can you name any of their offensive linemen? They got a good guard. Is that enough? Is that enough to solidify that unit and keep an aging, banged up quarterback healthy?
Jake Matthews is the name I know on the team. That's really it. On the offensive line. That's the name I know.
He's solid. You know, I'm gonna write home about it though. I'm not gonna do any breakdowns about him on the Big Ugly podcast.
Okay. All right. So, but the Saints roster here now, this looks great right here, right? This looks amazing. Okay.
It's looked worse.
Chris Olave and Shaheed. Now, I am concerned about tight end though, because Juwan Johnson being injured. And then the fact that in this offense, tight end is pretty important.
Yeah.
And so I expected him to really take off in this offense, and the fact that he's hurt, you know, that sucks. So he's not going to have an off season pretty much in this offense. He's got to learn on the fly.
It's a position that's important. We didn't invest in it because we were counting on guys like Moreau, who went to LSU, so he's probably going to suck, and Johnson develop, and Johnson can't develop in the offense because he's sidelined with a foot injury. You know, we're talking about a position group that's probably going to have 2 UDFAs make the team. That's not a good sign, dude. That's bad. I don't like that at all. I mean, Taysom's going to chew a little bit of that up, but you don't want him inline blocking. He's a 30-something-year-old failed quarterback. You want him blocking on running downs. So,
yeah,
man, I could see making a move if Johnson's not going to be ready. I mean, he's not going to be ready for training camp. If he's not ready for like preseason games, I might go get somebody, even if it's just a body who can block. Man, that's a scary looking position.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern for me too, man. I from what I've been hearing in the offseason, I mean, they got him kind of listed here as tight end, but Taysom Hill's been like more of a fullback this offseason. So tell me about your concerns with him and his age, and then coming to this kind of running back role. How do you think his season is going to pan out this year?
I think the games he plays in are going to be awesome, that he's going to kick a bunch of ass. And I also think that there's a reason no one ever gave him that many carries in a season, and I don't think he's going to make it 17 games. That's one of my – I'm known for being very optimistic on this show, and in general, because I'm a nice guy. But I don't see him playing 17 games. I think he's going to get hurt. It's a lot of pounding, man. You're talking about when you're a kid and you're an offensive lineman and you have delusions of grandeur, you're like, oh, I could play fullback because that's – you get to hit people. If a lineman wants to do your job, it's not a pretty glorious job. He's going to get hit a lot on downs. He doesn't have the ball sometimes. So that scares the hell out of me as someone who likes to watch Taysom Hill run and catch and throw and do fun stuff. I think he's going to be really exciting while healthy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do. I am not as worried for the injuries. Taysom has been relatively healthy in New Orleans, but yeah, it has been because of the usage. And they ever talk about new usage for him. And I mean on kickoffs because of the new kickoff rules. Maybe see AK back there as well.
If he's on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just assuming he will be. But that's more usage for Taysom. So maybe, but then they did something with his contract too, right? So that means he's probably going to end up being on the team next year too. So it's not a situation where they can just use him up and throw him away.
Right.
Yeah, I think they got to be smart with Taysom.
Yeah, they're invested in him past the season. Absolutely. I don't know if that means anything. We're talking about the Saints. How much dead money are they going to pay Cam Jordan? He's going to have one of those Bobby Bonilla contracts. He's getting $1 million until he's 95.
Yeah. I mean, look, basically Ramchek's contract this year is dead money. I guess I know it's not on the books that way, but
It's a
his
lot
body
worse
is
if
not
he retires.
there.
Just let him be crippled on the.
Yes,
A lot worse if he
yes,
retires.
absolutely.
Can y'all hear
I
that?
get it.
There's a fly the size of a hummingbird bugging around me right now. Can y'all hear that on the audio?
I don't hear that. Okay, so let's talk defensive line real quick. We did get news that Chase Young got some good news from the doc. When he underwent that neck surgery for the offseason, it looks like he will be able to participate in training camp. So that is hopefully positive news after we got the news after he signed the contract. He got neck surgery.
Who doesn't get neck surgery right before playing football, right? I mean, then that you don't just go get your neck scoped out just for fun every other Tuesday. Come on, it's
Right.
What's a little neck surgery among friends? Fine.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
I'm happy about it, man. That's probably our most talented defensive player outside of Lattimore. Like he was drafted second overall. It is such a pile of potential to be to be tapped into. With the guys around him, like Cam Jordan and the coaching staff that have built him into what he is, like there's no reason he can't be elite, like really good. And he's already one of the best run defenders in the NFL. He could put together some of that pass rush moves that he's kind of he gets by in athleticism, but if he kind of refines that a little bit, like the defensive end position is so frustrating because it has more talents than maybe any other position group outside of offensive line, and it was bad last year. It is maddening that there is so much talent at these spots. I think some of them got to break through. I don't know if it's Turner or if it's Young or if it's Foskey. One of them is going to break through, and we're going to have a monster on opposite Cam Jordan or opposite Granderson.
Okay, I'm about to say you meant Granderson.
It's been like 12 years. All right, I'm used to saying opposite Cam.
Yep. And look, Cam is going to be a contributor in our opinion this year. That's he's going to be on the farewell tour eventually. But yeah, Granderson is our top dog. But when you have those many other options, it's a shotgun approach, and I'm totally fine with the shotgun approach because something got to hit.
And it's a fresh legs approach, man. No one's going to be out there fatigued. You got bodies to run through.
Yes,
I like that.
Absolutely.
I would be really worried about Granderson having that starting job. If he was just an Anderson, I'd be really worried. But he's not. He's a Granderson, okay?
Exactly.
And that makes me feel a lot better.
Exactly. Now, what in the hell is going on with the Saints training camp schedule? They have not announced any practices for Saints fans in Southern California.
Yep.
Now, they have announced they're going to be practicing at Tulane. They're going to be practicing in the Dome. But this is going to be like all the way in August after you watch some preseason games. At that point, you don't care about practice. You don't want to see any more preseason. You just want to see regular season games.
Want everybody wrapped up in bubble wrap until September by that point.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And so now we're waiting on to hear what we're going to hear from for the training camp season in Southern California, especially you, since you're out in Southern California, and we're hoping to get some kind of coverage going on.
Yeah,
what the hell's going on?
Yeah, UC Irvine. It's I think they're setting up. It's an hour down the road from me. It's very local. What I'm hearing is that they're all going to be closed. They're not going to have open practices for fans. That's the rumor going around down here, is that they aren't going to have fans. Which, I mean, I guess I get it. They have joint practices with a couple of different teams. Maybe Dennis Allen wants that bunker mentality, us against the world, keep the distractions out. I get it, man. I don't like it. I was going to be down there. I was going to bring my daughters, and she likes football. Right. But it's one of those things. If they want to do it, then they're assholes, and I hate them.
Yeah, that's weird, man. Look, the NFL should definitely be promoting all of the practices in training camp. Look, they have the crap on TV all this time and stuff. Like, get the fans out there, man. Like, the players enjoy the juice they get from the fans. Trust me, they like the oohs and ahs. So let them come out there, man. I understand they're away from home, but let them get some new fans, and
Yeah,
just in general, fans of the NFL want to come see it.
Mm-hmm. Especially when they got the joint practices and stuff going on. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe the Niners. I think they have some with the Cowboys. Maybe it's Chargers. I forget. I'm drinking. So it would suck if they did that. But it's everything sucks here in Southern California. So what are you gonna do?
Well, that's why you're out there, man. You're gonna change things around.
Well,
Craig's gonna be the guy that saves California.
Remember, guys, it's a dry heat, right? So the fact that it's 101 degrees right now doesn't mean anything because at least it's dry, right, guys?
Yeah, exactly. It's different. That's all I got so far today, man. Do you have anything else I might have forgotten about, Craig?
Man, I'm waiting for the football, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for practicing. I can't wait for, overanalyzing everything that Nick Underhill tells us. I can't wait for arguing with you about how bad the Saints are going to be. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for some Saints. You turn on the TV and you have to watch some politics for 30 seconds. Man, I want anything but state of American politics right now. I want to talk about some football. Shit, I'll talk about some baseball. You got time for that? I don't care. Just get out of here. Is there any podcast that just talks about all kinds of sports I could find?
Oh yeah, actually there is. We launched a new podcast on the network. It's called Top of the Bleachers. They go on every Monday at 4 Central. So be sure to check them out. It's my guy Big, my guy Tuck. They're talking all sports, NBA, WNBA, college football, all that stuff, man. They're talking everything. So
solid.
Be sure to check them out. That's right, man. All right, Craig. Well, we're wrapping this thing up. Got any shout outs or anything like that, man?
No. Shout out to the Saints. That's what I want to be watching right now. Be sure to come back close to the season for the beer run. That's going to be our weekly show mid-season where we're going to drink more than we're going to talk. And that's my favorite way to do things because life tastes better when you're chugging.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have people from other teams, other fans from other teams on, and we're going to be chopping up with them and telling them that the Saints are the best team and their team sucks. That's basically what we do. So,
unless you're Dale, in case you're going to hate on the Saints, unless they have LSU players.
Well, look, if LSU players come to town, Craig,
But the Honey Badger's not enough for you, for God's sake. Just be happy with what we have.
Jake Daniels is coming to town soon, so. All right, we're wrapping this thing up. So for Craig, the California Cajun, I am Dale. This is BS and Bourbon. We'll see you next time. Who dat?
Who dat?
Remember to follow us on social media at BS and Beer Media. Also, smash the like button on YouTube and share with friends.